You are watching Purple Cosmos, where space turns dark.
The moon is already falling. You just haven't realized it yet. The tides are rising in places that haven't seen seawater in centuries. Coastal cities are quietly evacuating, but no one says the word. Not yet. Earthquakes ripple across the tectonic plates like nerves flinching under pressure. And above us, the moon looms, larger than ever. Beautiful. Terrifying. This isn't a drill. This isn't science fiction. This is the end. How it began. No one knows exactly how it happened. But it had to be something big. Maybe a rogue asteroid, undetected until it was too late, brushed past the moon and destabilized its orbit. Maybe gravitational interference from a passing stellar body twisted its trajectory by just a fraction of a degree. Maybe it was us, endless mining, constant artificial satellites, a chain reaction of orbital decay. Maybe it was always going to happen. But on day zero, astronomers at observatories across the world saw it, a deviation. Microscopic, at first. A fraction of a second in orbital timing. A curve instead of a circle. The moon wasn't orbiting anymore. It was falling. They didn't announce it. Not right away. They weren't sure. And how do you explain to 8 billion people that the sky is about to kill them? Day 1, tides turn. Within 24 hours, the effects were already visible. Tide charts were useless. Coastal towns experienced what they thought were tsunamis, but they kept coming. Every 6 hours, the water would recede, then return with greater fury. New York's Battery Park vanished under 6 meters of salt water. Venice became a memory. Bangladesh began evacuations before anyone could explain what was happening. The moon's gravity, now closer, had a stronger grip. It tugged not just on oceans, but on the Earth's crust itself. Volcanoes stirred. Dormant ones. Mount Rainier exhaled smoke. Mount Etna rumbled. Yellowstone began to swell. Something was horribly wrong, and the moon, so serene, so constant, was now an executioner in slow motion. Silence from above. NASA, ESA, Roscosmos, all of them went quiet. Leaks began to surface. Screenshots of internal memos. A flight path simulation showing an inevitable spiral. Countdown timers with no explanation. The orbit was collapsing faster than expected. Some scientists believed the moon would skip off the atmosphere like a stone on water, ripping the sky apart before disintegrating in orbit. Others said it would impact directly. A collision of two spheres, one of rock and water, the other of bone-white mass and silence. The energy. Equivalent to 30 trillion nuclear bombs detonating at once. There would be no survivors. Not even bacteria. Mass panic and global collapse. The media tried to keep it quiet. For 2 days, talking heads smiled through gritted teeth. Unusual lunar proximity. Precautionary tidal alerts. But the public wasn't blind. They could see the moon, bigger, brighter, wrong. It now dominated the night sky. Then, the daytime too. It never left. It hung there, watching. Like an eye. Like a god. Then came the leaks. An America whistleblower published orbital decay data, 73% certainty of impact. Hours later, a Chinese physicist confirmed it, privately recorded, trembling voice. The moon is no longer orbiting. It is spiraling. Impact is projected in 4 days. Then came the footage. A town in Chile, swallowed by a wave. An entire section of Tokyo, split open from a sudden seismic rupture. A monastery in Nepal, buried under an avalanche from a mountain that hadn't moved in 10,000 years. The earth was responding. Like a body rejecting an intruder. Panic sets in. Markets collapsed in a single hour. Billionaires vanished into bunkers they swore didn't exist. Governments issued contradictory evacuation orders: inland, underground, stay calm, stay together, stay away. Cities fell into chaos. Airports were overwhelmed. Roads gridlocked. People fought for fuel, for food, for a place to run, but there was nowhere to run. Where do you hide from the sky? Desperate plans. In a last act of desperation, humanity launched its final defense, Project Artemis Protocol. For modified nuclear missiles, aimed at the moon. It was never going to work. The warheads detonated in near orbit. Blinding flashes lit up the sky like a second sun. The moon didn't even flinch. Its path was set. Its mass was too great. Its fall, inevitable. Final countdown begins. The moon's descent accelerated. Each hour, it grew. A disk of silver turning gray, then red, then black. The surface, once familiar, now alien. Craters visible by the naked eye. Mountains casting shadows across Earth. It filled the sky, swallowing stars. Night and day blurred. Tides stopped receding. Earthquakes became hourly. The crust of the planet groaned under lunar gravity. 2 minutes. That was the last global broadcast. No further instructions. No comfort. No hope. Just 2 words, carved into every frequency on Earth. 2 minutes. By now, the moon filled the entire sky. Not just a celestial object, but the sky itself. No stars. No sun. Just craters. Shadow. The bottomless black of lunar valleys now so close, you could almost touch them. People didn't scream anymore. They stared. Silent. Some prayed. Some held hands. Others just waited. Contact. Then. The sky cracked. A sound beyond comprehension, a deep, grinding roar, like the earth itself screaming in terror. Not thunder. Not explosion. Something older. Colder. The atmosphere caught fire. Winds reached Mach 2, then Mach 5. Oceans lifted from their beds, drawn into the air like vapor. The moon's gravity was tearing Earth apart before impact. And then. Contact. Not a flash. Not a bang. An extinction. The moon struck the Pacific Ocean, obliterating everything west of the Andes and east of Japan in a single breath. A shockwave so massive it flattened continents before the light even reached them. North America split down the center. Africa ignited. Europe drowned in a wall of boiling vapor that rose higher than Everest. The impact wasn't just global. It was planetary. Globe showing Europe-Africa the end of the world. The Earth's crust shattered. Molten rock spilled from the core. The moon, fractured but not destroyed, embedded itself halfway into the mantle. The sky turned black. Ash blotted out all light. Temperatures plummeted. The air became poison. Time stopped meaning anything. There was no one left to count the hours. Contact. Then. The sky cracked. A sound beyond comprehension, a deep, grinding roar, like the earth itself screaming in terror. Not thunder. Not explosion. Something older. Colder. The atmosphere caught fire. Winds reached Mach 2, then Mach 5. Oceans lifted from their beds, drawn into the air like vapor. The moon's gravity was tearing Earth apart before impact. And then. Contact. Not a flash. Not a bang. An extinction. The moon struck the Pacific Ocean, obliterating everything west of the Andes and east of Japan in a single breath. A shockwave so massive it flattened continents before the light even reached them. North America split down the center. Africa ignited. Europe drowned in a wall of boiling vapor that rose higher than Everest. The impact wasn't just global. It was planetary. Globe showing Europe-Africa the end of the world. The Earth's crust shattered. Molten rock spilled from the core. The moon, fractured but not destroyed, embedded itself halfway into the mantle. The sky turned black. Ash blotted out all light. Temperatures plummeted. The air became poison. Time stopped meaning anything. There was no one left to count the hours. And then, silence. All signals ceased. No more radio. No more voices. No more Earth. Just a new shape in the solar system. A glowing, broken sphere, wrapped in ash, circled by molten debris. A dead planet, with 2 fused cores. Echoes in the void. Log hash 291-7A. Observer Unit 6. System designation, Sol. Subject, Class G star with terrestrial planet and large natural satellite. Observed anomaly, orbital decay resulting in catastrophic impact. Intelligent life confirmed. Extinction complete. Conclusion, self-limiting species. No intervention recommended. Mark system as abandoned. Proceed to next observation. And so, another world ends. And the universe doesn't flinch.
Be part of the cosmos. Subscribe now.